Hello, everybody, and welcome to Walking Together. Thank you for joining me today. I pray that as we spend this time together, that your courage is renewed, that your strength is renewed, and that you're refreshed in the presence of God, and that hope rises. I'd like to read to you from Luke chapter 17 and verse 33, and initially I'm going to read it from the King James Version. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it, and whoever shall lose his life will preserve it. I'm going to read it again, but I'm going to read it from the Message translation this time. If you grasp and cling to life on your terms, you'll lose it. But if you let that life go, you'll get life on God's terms. What does that look like? What is life on your terms? What is life on my terms? What is life on God's terms? What do we look for? Success, security, acceptance, financial success, achievement, ambition. What's life on our terms? Comfort, safety, peace. Peace. Oh, we want some peace. I'm going to read that verse again, but I'm going to read it from the Passion Translation. All who are obsessed with being secure in life will lose it all, including their lives. But those who let go of their lives and surrender them to me will discover true life. We're not far from Christmas, and it made me think again of Mary. She was told that she was to bear the Saviour of the world. She had life on her terms in her mind. She was going to marry this nice man. She'd agreed to be his wife. They were going to live in this particular place, and life was going to look like this, and then all of a sudden it wasn't anymore. And she wasn't given a great heap of guarantees. She wasn't even told that Joseph would stand by her. She wasn't told how she was going to survive. She was just told, this is my purpose for you. And her response, it wasn't a whole raft of questions. It was, according to your word. She asked for understanding. She said, how can this be? She still didn't understand when she got the explanation. But she said, according to your word, let it be unto me. It says over security, all who are obsessed with being secure in life, well, all her security had just gone. And all the other things that we can depend on, they can vanish in an instant for lots of reasons. But God's plans, he who began a good work in you is able to bring it to completion. And it might not look how we expect it to, but he will be faithful. He really will be faithful. And God doesn't always take us the easy way. I was thinking like with Joseph, if he'd have had that angelic visitation ahead of time, it would have made life a lot easier. But instead, he finds out that she's pregnant and he just wants to back out quietly. How must Mary have felt? That was so hard. And sometimes people do misunderstand and people do misjudge, and it makes it so hard. And God doesn't always take us the easy road. And he didn't take her the easy road, but she just said, according to your plans, let it be unto me. John Ortberg wrote a book, and it was, if you want to walk on water, you've got to get out of the boat. And we want to know what it's all like before we dip our toe. And we often don't. When God calls us into something, he just says, follow me. The disciples on the seashore, Jesus walked along and he just said to them, follow me. And he didn't give them a 5-year plan. He didn't give them any guarantees. He just said, follow me. And they left everything and they followed him. So many of the stories of the Bible, they stepped into the unknown, not knowing what the outcome would be, but knowing that God was faithful. And so they said, in effect, the same as Mary, according to your word. And they saw God do amazing, amazing things. But we are going to have to go out of our depth if we want to know the ways of God. if we want to walk in his life and in his purposes, to discover the true life. Jesus said, I've come that you might have life and have life to the full. And that life to the full, he doesn't guarantee it'll be easy. We read of the things that Paul went through. But it was life to the full. And he saw the goodness of God, and he saw miracles, and he saw transformation. And I don't know about you, but I want to see transformation. I want to see miracles. Most of all, I want to walk with him wherever he might be going. I want to walk with him and see his goodness and see his wonders and see his mercy. Speaking of wonders, I've been looking at some of the images from the James Webb Telescope, and they are so beautiful. The Hubble Telescope, James Webb Telescope, pictures of galaxies and stars and all kinds of things. And it says in the Bible that the heavens declare the glory of God, and we can see the majesty and the splendor and the creativity of God in the things that he's created. And there's the timing and the balance, and it's amazing. More than we begin to understand the way that it all works in harmony, and yet it's so beautiful. Apparently, scientists now tell us that discoverable space, in other words, the space that they are aware of and can measure, is now 93 billion light years. I can't comprehend that, but discoverable or observable, the observable universe is 93 billion light years. So I'm thinking, how big is 1 light year? And apparently it is 6 trillion miles. So that's 6 with 12 zeros. That's 1 light year. And the observable universe is 93 billion of those. I don't know about your maths, but mine isn't that good. But the wonder and the sheer scale of all that. No wonder we don't understand God's plans if that is just a part of the demonstration of his creativity. But if he can keep all that in balance, his eye is on the sparrow and his eye is on you and me, and he is able to watch over our future. I was thinking about our past a little bit as well. I want to read to you from 2 Corinthians chapter 1 and verse 6. If troubles weigh us down, that just means that we will receive even more comfort to pass on to you for your deliverance. For the comfort pouring into us empowers us to bring comfort to you. And with this comfort upholding you, you can endure victoriously the same suffering that we experience. Do you know all the stuff that you've walked through in your yesterdays? It was to prepare you for tomorrow, so that you would find resources that you can share, that you would find healing that you can share, that you would learn about the goodness of God. I hope you have testimonies behind you of how God has changed things, of how God has been faithful to you. And you need to remember when God has answered your prayers, when he's made a way where there wasn't a way. And you need to allow that to bring confidence and hope into the future that you don't yet see and that you don't yet understand. Sometimes we could do with hindsight a bit sooner, but we don't know what the future holds, but God does. And he is faithful. And all that tough stuff that you walk through, I believe that in your coming days, you'll see the good things that God's forged in you being put to work in your life and in other people's lives. Those things that you've learned about the love and the goodness of God, they'll stand you in good stead. Go back to the times when you've known the presence and the faithfulness and the goodness of God, because testimony is so faithful, and he has been preparing you for the road ahead. All that you've walked through has been a preparation for the road ahead. It says in Psalm 20 and verse 7, and again this is the Passion Translation, some find their strength in their weapons and wisdom, but my miracle deliverance can never be won by men. Our boast is in Yahweh our God, who makes us strong and gives us victory. In the older translations, it says, some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of our God. Not many of us have weapons or chariots nowadays, but we trust in all kinds of other things, don't we? What do you trust in? We can trust in our careers, our finances, our families, our abilities, our plans. We can trust in so many things. But we trust in the name of our God. We trust that it's him that will make us strong and who will give us the victory, that knows the path ahead. He knows the path that you've walked up till now. He knows where you're up to today, and he knows what all your tomorrows will bring. Our boast is in him, not in our own strength, not in our own wisdom, because my wisdom has certainly fallen short many times, but he has always, always been faithful. It says in Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 12, I am wisdom and I am shrewd and intelligent. I have at my disposal living understanding to devise a plan for your life. God devises a plan for your life, and he's the best equipped to do it. It says in verse 14, you will find true success when you find me, for I have insight into wise plans that are designed just for you. I hold in my hands living understanding, courage, and strength. He's the one that fashioned you. You were not here because of an accident. No matter what was going on with your parents, you were always planned for in the mind and in the heart of God. And he has all the wisdom and the strength and the courage that you need. You don't have to find it yourself. You find it in him. He knows every beat and every desire of your heart. He knows exactly how you're made, your strengths, your weaknesses. He knows it all. And he has tailor-made a future for you in him, something that only you can do. A walk, a path that is just for you and for him. Nobody else can walk the way that he has made for you. It says in verse 14, in the Message version, it says, I am both insight and the virtue to live it out. Virtue is like shiny courage. It's strength and it's just virtue, that life of God flowing through us that enables us. Because the ways of God, his thoughts are higher than ours, his ways are higher than ours. We can't do it by ourselves. It might seem daunting, but it's by his wisdom, it's by his strength, it's by his goodness. And he has a way ahead. It might feel dark right now, but those things, he will bring the comfort and he will use it as a weapon in your path as you go forward. And he has all that strength, all that virtue, all that heroism that you need as you rest in him, as you trust in him, as you cling to him and obey him. We need hope. We need courage. We need faith, and as we know, faith is spelled R-I-S-K, because he doesn't give us guarantees. He doesn't tell us all the information. He just says, this is where I'm going. Are you coming? Are you coming? But the greatest we know is love. We need faith. We need hope. We need courage. But when those are wearing thin, love keeps going. And it's because we love him. It's because we love him. It isn't because we're big and strong and wise. It's because we love him and because we want to walk with him. I want to read to you from 1 Corinthians chapter 13. And again, I'm going to read from the Passion Translation. And it says, for now we see but a faint reflection of riddles and mysteries, as though reflected in a mirror. But one day we will see face to face. My understanding is incomplete now, but one day I will understand everything, just as everything about me has been fully understood. God fully understands you. and totally loves you. Until then, there are 3 things that remain: faith, hope, and love. Yet love surpasses them all. So above all else, let love be the beautiful prize for which you run. What we're running for, what we're taking these risks for, what we're willing to put our life aside for, isn't success. It's him. It's relationship with him. It's walking with him wherever he takes us and trusting him with the outcome. The greatest is love. Let's go on that adventure of walking with him. According to your word, let it be unto me. Amen. God bless.